And, but the team I assemble is a bunch of infrastructure engineers. We've been at this many times and we're like, okay, we know we need to engineer security and privacy into this on day one. We engineered over 30 security features. One of the core team members is a former student who has 15 years of privacy law experience. So we engineered these edge servers to enable ourselves to put them in the building and what we referred to as twin the machine to the edge server. So now, and just because some of your listeners probably know how some of this works, now every time the stenographer or whatever decides that they're going to send an image to the PAC system, our servers get the identical image. And just to make a point of it for some people who care, this is all non-compressed, et cetera. So now you have the image. The question is, what can I do with the image? So this is where we're in essence a platform and infrastructure. Some of your listeners may be aware of how the iPhone works. Apple delivered a bunch of infrastructure, meaning phones all around the world. They gave people a development environment with access to a camera and access to GPS information. And they told the world, go build apps. And Uber emerged as an example. Instagram emerged as an example. So we see the world the same way, meaning here's the ultrasound image. Go build a cardiology application. Go build an orthopedic application. Go build an emergency application, right? So what could these applications do? They could share, and we're actually working on this. Obviously, my conversations about emergency rooms, they could share an image in an emergency situation. They could infer. Those of you who speak AI, if I build the AI algorithm, it's called an inferencing engine. It's what the intelligence, the so-called neural nets have been weighted. That's the inferencing engine that when you talk to your phone in Siri, that's what's running there to go, what did Sabrina say? So you can infer on it. So back to my example, the focal cortical dysplasia inferencing engine application could go, hey, Sabrina, this kind of looks like focal cortical dysplasia. So you could do that with it. And then the last part, which is the most important part for AI, is we can't use the techniques that have been used to develop ChatGPT, Alexa, all of the consumer stuff you've seen, which is a centralized approach. They centrally aggregate the data. They centrally train on the data. And so both for the reason of the quantity of data we're talking about for ultrasound, MRI, and this imaging stuff is way bigger than a bunch of text data. So who's going to pay all the networking cost if we decide to locate it in one data center in Ireland or whatever? And then obviously everybody who's worked in privacy knows if I centralize a whole bunch of data with no purpose, that is not privacy preserving. And those of your listeners who are international probably know that countries like Norway are saying Norwegian data is never leaving Norway. So the last thing as a class of things that you can now do is you can learn on that data locally. There's a whole technique referred to as federated or decentralized learning, where I learn locally, which is exactly what's going on your phone on Siri. Siri's trying to learn about you locally. It's not taking your voice and sending it to the Apple cloud for two reasons: network and privacy preservation. So we believe the same techniques, we've done initial work on this, can be applied to the world of medicine and imaging. And my contention is our work in what we call the Gemini program is a light year ahead of anything even going on in adult medicine. Because this is the key problem to solve at the end of the day, is how do you learn without centralizing the data? Because that's never going to happen.
Yeah. They've been talking about stuff like this with getting people together at ERs and places. God, for as long as I can remember, in 2000, 99 maybe. They still haven't figured it out. They wanted to use little credit cards to carry your portable wallet, your medical records. I don't know, there's all too many computer systems. There's nothing uniform.
That's what we're building,
I
a
hope so.
uniform global infrastructure.